Hello everyone and welcome to the Beauty Voice of Reason Live. I'm so excited to have some incredible guests with me today, but just to tell you a little bit about what we're doing, we are going through the beauty industry past, present, and future. So we're gonna start with some nostalgia today, but before we dive into the subject, I just want all of these incredible people around me to introduce themselves and a little bit about the lens that you're coming to this conversation with.
I'm Blair Clark. I run an agency called More Than Agency, and we manage influencers and do brand partnerships. And I love beauty.
Hi, I'm Rosa Ale. I'm a social media analyst and I also have a slow fashion brand called Revival London.
Hi, I'm Rita Balogun and I am an actor and content creator.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the creative and brand director here at Lionne. Yeah, amazing.
I kind of want everyone to just go around and talk about how you got introduced to beauty, because I think that it's something that we don't often think about. We're constantly now exposed to brands and, literally served content all day long. But I don't think we often think about how we actually got exposed to this industry and what that means from, all different lifestyles and cultures and everything. So Blair, do you just want to start? What's your first memory of beauty?
When I think of beauty, I just think about being young and my grandmother always saying I don't need makeup and always to appreciate my natural skin and my natural face. And for me, beauty is a lens and it's how we see ourselves. And of course I love makeup, I love skincare, I love products. But I think it really started off within and really understanding and really appreciating my natural face. So when I think about my entry point into beauty, I think it starts off there.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Really
no,
good.
it's really good.
I think for me, I'm more in the fashion space. So that was my main source of creativity and outlet. But I think I ventured more into beauty. I guess seeing stuff on YouTube and how to do certain looks and using color as well. So I started just experimenting and having fun. I just love colors and eyeshadow and all of that good stuff. So I feel it's an extension of my fashion style, kind of bringing the colors to the face as well.
I was gonna say, because I
cool.
think it's so cool because for me, I'm not a fashion girl. I just feel I'm not that fashionable. But so my makeup is very much understated too. So I love that. It's a total extension of whatever outfit you're wearing.
Exactly. It kind of just meshes together.
I need some of that in my life. I need to start watching YouTube.
You're only sat here all in black. Just
oh great, no color. What about you, Rita?
I want to say my mom, My mom is really, really fashionable makeup, hair. And I just remember being younger, just wanting to look like her and literally be as fashionable as she is. So I feel my mom was definitely my entry point into seeing colors. So my mom's similar to you as well, loves the bright shadows on her eyes. I always remember her having blue eyeshadow and stuff like that. So I think definitely my mom, but she didn't allow me to get into it. So I just used to watch.
This is the thing.
From afar.
It was that's how my mom was too. She was no, you're not allowed to shave your legs. You're not allowed to wear mascara. All these things. It was
all secretly,
Yeah, and I remember for me, because I would go into her bathroom and my grandmother's bathroom and see all of the moisturizers and things, and I would just want to play, And I think it was really, for me, it was a fun thing. It was something that wasn't you have to do this. It was something that was really great. But I think also from my mom, she was really big into sun care. So she was so ahead of her time. But it seemed like sun care was punishment because she would lube me up and all of SPF properly. And she would say, okay, now sit on the side of the pool until it soaks in. So it was this punishment, which just totally scarred me for life. Now I'm I hate SPF because of that, but we have to wear it. So I definitely I think that moms and grandmothers, the women in my life definitely had a huge impact.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam?
Wow.
To a different angle.
Yeah, I don't know, a different angle. Mine was a secret beginning into beauty. I remember also growing up in the countryside, it was very and this is a while ago, so I wasn't in the city where it was all about beauty and I was seeing loads of adverts and billboards and I wasn't really that into fashion or anything. And I remember sneaking into the bathroom and going into my mum's makeup bag when I was 14 or 15, and she had this little Dior concealer stick and I used to twist it up, put a bit under my eyes. Didn't really know what I was doing at all. Will she notice? Is this going to be the last twist? And then she's going to realize And so that was the beginning. And I used to just play around with a few products, but kind of all in secret. Then I started working at a beauty store in my town when I finished school. And then it was like opening Pandora's box. I was trying every single product, makeup, skincare, fragrance, hair care, everything. And obviously now I've made a career in the beauty industry. So yeah, but it started off as a little secret. So
it was
yeah,
a little
interesting.
secret.
Definitely not anymore.
I love that you were using the Dior concealer. That was like your first product. That's amazing.
But my mum didn't have loads of products as well. So I was always like, is she going to notice? Every time I twisted it, it's like, is this going to be the last bit? But yeah, that's
it's
it.
like the vodka bottle, you know, that you like would fill up with water. You're like, ooh, you know, I've been drinking it. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so great. And so, yeah, I think that we all have had kind of different experiences being introduced to it. But then for me, like the influence that I kind of had going into my teens was, you know, it was from a Southern angle. I'm from Texas. And so it was very much like kind of done up. And I was reading every single beauty editorial, like every magazine, tearing out pages. I had like stacks and stacks. So now we're so used to content creators and influencers, like working with brands. But what for you guys, like who were the influencers that weren't like influencers when you were kind of growing up and in this area? It's kind of hard.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, I'm really trying to like go back in time and
I guess if we think like before we were in the influencer stage, I want to say, well, one, my older cousin, because she was like big on makeup, but also Aaliyah. She was a big icon for me in terms of like beauty, because I feel like she was also very natural, but beautiful at the same time. And even just like the way she wore her hair and even her style, like it was very, I feel like that's the first thing that comes to me. I remember one Halloween, I was Aaliyah for Halloween. Like,
I love that.
So for me, I think like that's someone that I look to in terms of like beauty ideals.
And how was she like, where were you seeing her? Like, what were the mediums?
Music videos. On TV and magazines.
Yeah.
And mostly, music videos.
Music
on
videos.
TV, yeah.
I love it.
That's a good point. I'll say that music videos, because my one's going to be so random. Honestly, it's going to be so random. But I remember really wanting to be like Baby Spice from the Spice Girls.
Ooh, love.
Totally. Very specific to not just this Spice Girls. Like
It was
Baby
very, very random. But I remember being in primary school and I tried to style my hair like how she did her hair, the two with, I think she had like a little fringe.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it would have worked, but I had an afro, like a really thick afro. So I just remember like making my hair really wet. So it was initially quite flat. And then I just remember getting to school and it just was feeling different. And you know, like when you, back then there was no phone, so you're not like looking at what you look like.
No, you never knew what you looked like.
You never knew what you looked like, right? So I left the house one way, but I just remember feeling this feels different. Like it's not like really resting on my forehead the way it should. Do you know what I mean? But I remember just really wanting to like look like her and just, you know, hair wise and like wearing pink and stuff like that. But music videos were like a huge thing.
They
Do you know what
really
I mean?
were.
Huge.
I would not think of that, but it's so true because we didn't have like YouTube content. We didn't have
No,
that.
I think that was Baby Spice.
Baby Spice.
Yeah. I feel like it was either celebrities or like people in your immediate world that would influence your like your beauty decisions or like just what you thought would look nice.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I feel like I was really obsessed with Blue Cantrell. That was like my first. I was really into her. Like that was like my first CD that I bought. I was like, this girl,
CD.
this woman.
Oh my gosh. Talk about nostalgia. We have music videos and CDs.
Yeah, I feel like she used to do like a bit of like fun eye makeup, and then I feel like that's when I was like, oh, this is my kind of vibes. So I feel like that's like one inspo for me. And then like music videos, as you guys are saying, like that was like a huge inspo as well. Like Destiny's Child, all of these guys, and like just like seeing how they do their makeup, and like that was like a good inspo.
Totally.
Yeah.
I feel like in my head, I just can only picture like Neutrogena, like someone splashing their face. Mine's like not one individual, but it's just those commercials.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it was commercials. You know, you were so like anything that you were watching, it was that, and then obviously whatever's in my mom's drawer. Like that was it for me. And Teen Vogue. Like I'm sorry, I was obsessed. I was obsessed with Teen Vogue. Who was influencing
This
you?
is such a hard question for me. I don't know who influenced me. I think it was like, obviously being a guy as well, it wasn't like see a celebrity and then copy their style or something necessarily. It was more around like the functionality of the products and wanting to make myself look my best at the time, and probably having a little bit of like that teen anxiety and wanting to like fit in and look good and all of that kind of stuff. that kind of then probably became more of a gateway into using other beauty products. Like when I got into retail and started wearing makeup, for example, and I've gone through fluctuations throughout my life of wearing it and not wearing it and using different products. But yeah, there wasn't like one specific person that I was inspired by to try the things or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting question.
Yeah, and you're probably influenced more than you think by things, but it's like you can't pinpoint it because marketing is so powerful, you know? And it's like, I feel like I have those flashbacks to like the splash, you know, that like really fake splash. I still don't know how they do that, but still, like even now on like shoots for skincare, I'm like, I don't get how they recreated that look. But yeah, I think that it's interesting to see now how we're constantly served content about beauty and kind of fashion and everything. It's in our pocket because we can follow what we are interested in. And so you're not having to like tear out the one page, you know, of the roundup of moisturizers or whatever. Yeah. But in terms of the evolution of beauty, like, are there any specific like brands or moments in time that you feel like changed things for you or that have kind of like helped with the evolution of your beauty style? Again, a very like thought-provoking question.
I think it has to be like obviously the rise of social media, but when I was younger and started in the industry, it was very much about those big legacy brands, the fashion houses that had the beauty lines, the counters that you could just go to in a department store. And with the rise of social media and everything kind of moving to online in the last 10 years, there's so many more indie brands launching and it's so much more about culture and diversity and links with other areas of the world. You know, it's not just about like what you can get in your local department store. It's opened up this whole thing of like so many different products, so much innovation, and us all being connected and to kind of see what's happening around the world that actually 10 years ago we couldn't. So I think all those different influences have completely changed how we interact with beauty and how we kind of think about ourselves in the beauty kind of world as well.
I also feel like before, like I think brands kind of spoke more about what kind of products you bought more so than what the actual product was. So I remember in college, like I went to just like a department store and I'm being sold by a salesperson at Chanel, and she sold me some like the whole range, skincare. Of course,
the whole thing. You needed it all,
right? I needed it. And at the time, to be fair, I only really got into skincare probably a lot later in life. Like earlier on, I didn't really do much to my skin. But she sold me this range, told me like what steps I needed to take and how to use like these 3 products. And I thought I was like the shit. Like I was like, yeah, cool. But like I'm like, I would never buy that again because I'm pretty sure that like those products weren't good for my skin. Yeah. But whereas now, like you said, like with the evolution of social media, I just feel like I can like, it's kind of opened the products up for me more. Like I can understand, like I still to this day, I wouldn't say like I know every single thing that's in a product, but I can understand like what my skin needs and what kind of products I need and like, and like, we do have influencers and we have even brands that are giving educational moments that are now teaching people how to properly take care of ourselves in that way, even how to properly apply makeup, how to properly use skincare. So I think you're right in terms of like social media has completely opened it up to be able to like, now I feel like I have a passion for beauty because I understand it more. Before it was kind of like...
Before it was like brands pushing advertising, what their message was onto the consumer. Now it's like, what's my personal self-reflection within this brand? Like, how do I engage with it? And then you kind of find the ones that you connect with on a personal level. Exactly. Rather than it just being like an advertising message that everyone is getting and it's just one like,
and knowing what you need as well. Right? Totally. Like, rather than, because I would buy so many things that like would do nothing or probably be really, really terrible to my skin. Or it didn't even look good or wasn't my color or whatever. And like, but now I just feel like you can really learn and you can really understand like what you need and you can align yourselves with brands and brand values and just really know a lot more.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of what we're doing at Lionne is around education. So today, like in the beauty world where we are now, I think education is critical. I think it's so critical for the future. But I think also community. So for me, there was like a pivotal point when Glossier like basically created their cleanser that they created with their community. And I don't know about you guys, but like that was revolutionary. And I think just getting involved and like, I don't know, are there any brands that you feel like in the past or even I guess present a little bit that you feel like a part of? Because it used to not be something that we were a part of. People just kept pushing their agenda on us. But now we're like in the brand story, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I do credit that to social media, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's the best way to be able to like build proper community on a consistent basis.
Exactly. The door is opened. And I think just the way that we shop too. So like for me, I have like vivid memories of going to Neiman Marcus. It was the only department store really in Fort Worth where I'm from that had a good selection. So I would go there and just, oh my gosh, all day long, look at all the beauty products. But where did you guys shop? Because now, like you were saying, you can basically see anything.
Yeah. Sephora. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, my first experience of getting makeup or beauty stuff was Selfridges, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
How bougie,
She
innit?
fancy.
Yeah.
I was about to say Superdrug.
I was like,
Like the pharmacy.
honestly, I was literally like, as I was thinking, I was like, wow, that's
Wow.
fancy.
That
I
is
don't know
fancy.
why, but I think the first time I ever thought about buying makeup or getting anything beauty was when I was traveling. So like, I'm an actor, so I remember I was going to LA for this. I mean, it was a scam. I got scammed. But they said they were going to, connect us with casting directors. And, in America, they take beauty really seriously. Because as a Brit, when I was growing up, it was like, we didn't care. I didn't know what concealer was. I didn't know what any of that stuff was.
Yeah.
But they were like, if you're going to America, you need to have concealer. You need to have this. I'm like, concealer?
Dior. We needed
I
you.
love it.
we needed
Yeah,
you.
I have some for you.
Do you know what I mean? So literally, we went to
USA.
MAC and they did the same thing to me. They just gave me everything. Do you know what I
you
mean?
needed it
I had
all.
everything. I bought everything there, and I was like, "Oh my god, concealer!" They were like, "Oh, you're not supposed to look tired." I had like eyeliner and lip liner and all of this stuff, all from the same place. So
Yeah.
my first experience was Selfridges, and it's hilarious because I don't even go there that much now. So
Yeah, they've
Well,
lost you along the way
they
somewhere.
lost me along the way, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I think it's because I remember that single counter model, which I feel nostalgic about it because I loved going and sitting in the chair and they would color match you and everything. And now you go into Selfridges, like
You're waiting for
buckle
ages.
up.
Yeah.
It's wild in there.
It's so
Like
true.
there's so many brands and there's so much to choose from. Whereas in the past, I don't know, I think that part of me misses the simplicity of what it used to be. Although now we have so much exposure, like you guys were saying, to other brands.
But no, you're right, because it's definitely, there's way too much to choose from.
Yeah.
Like I like the fact that like I can know more and I kind of have more option, but it also makes it hard to choose. And also it's very expensive because now I'm trying so many different products. It's fine.
So many.
Like
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
when I go into a beauty shop I'm there for way too long because I'm reading things. I'm like trying to but then I end up getting more than I went in there for because I'm like, well, maybe this could be good for this. And I'm a consumer.
Oh,
So
it's like going to Target. When you go to Target, you're never going to get just what you need.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, they said this can help with my under eye and this can help with and I believe them. But
Yeah. Still, I know after everything that we know, it's like, I still believe what you're saying.
I know.
I feel so guilty though because I was definitely, in fact, I was the person working on the beauty counter.
Make us buy
I'm not
everything.
going to say which brand it was or which store, but I was the person that would sit you down, sell you 50 products. I don't know, you probably go home and not know what to do with any of them. If I did that to anyone, I apologize. This is
I
a
know
long
you
time
will.
ago. Oh yeah, maybe. I didn't
He's
work
the
for
guy
Mac.
in Mac.
But I didn't work for Mac, one of the brands I haven't worked for. But it's kind of, okay, I kind of feel a bit of guilt after this conversation. So I publicly apologize for that. But it is true. But now we have so much choice. And the kind of, I think also the magic, that nostalgic magic of like going and being on the Chanel counter or the YSL counter or something and having that experience that wasn't really accessible unless you opened a magazine. So now it's like everywhere. It's kind of just, we're in a different world now where everything is at our fingertips. We're on like perma-scroll all the time consuming content. And there's so much choice. And it's like, how do you cut through that noise as well and find products that are just right for you and actually, save a bit of money. Don't like have 5 serums on the go at the same time. All of those things, which we probably all have. It's really difficult,
Are you going into your Lionne
This
sales
is the segue
pitch?
into Lionne's sales pitch.
I was going to say, it sounds like enter Lionne,
It's a
but
really good intro, yeah.
yeah, it is.
Let's go for it.
Right now. No, that's it. That's what we do. But I think that there is that kind of like, I miss that, I guess, exploration that you would have that, you'd go and sit down and people really knew about the brand too. I don't know about you guys. When I go into a department store now, people don't know about the brand like they used to because they're not selling that story. But I mean, I was such a consumer even back in the day. Like I was consuming everything. And here we are. I'm obviously like in the product world. But I think that, go ahead. I feel like you're going to say something.
I still am. I had a consultation with Meg a few months ago and had all of my routine laid out. And then I went to the States a couple of weeks back and I ended up coming back with loads of products that weren't right for me just because I got super excited in some stores that I hadn't been to for ages. And so I did exactly that. And I came back and I was like, I cannot believe it, Megan, I've changed everything. And my skin is ruined again.
But because we get talked into it. And like, it is fun. I think for me, beauty now seems a little bit serious. And I'm trying to like, I think that we want to bring back the fun and beauty and like the color. Like you were saying, it's like this color, like playful. And I think, you know, Glossier, they tried to launch this play range. And I think it maybe didn't go well because of the pandemic and stuff. But I just, that like color, makeup and things, I'm like excited to see the revival. Yeah. And I think, I don't know about you guys, but like the 90s are back. Like,
yeah. 100%.
It's so true.
It is.
It's so true. History repeats itself.
It happens in every industry though, doesn't it? Like,
I know.
Even in fashion as well, like Y2K coming back, like it's just all cyclical. So
No, it is.
So interesting to see.
The gems, the lip liner.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we're in a good place today. And in the next episode, we're going to dive into where Lionne is today. No, where the beauty industry is today. But thank you guys so much for joining.
Thank you.
It's been really fun.
So much fun.
We've traveled back in time. And now we're in 2022. So I think that's a wrap.